What is going on? On Sunday, of course, Trump announced that he wants a strategic crypto reserve. The crypto prices that were involved for the corresponding assets went flying, were skyrocketing. And then before that, we had insider accounts that longed coins mentioned by Trump's on Saturday. So clearly they knew what was up. Then yesterday, some insider accounts started to short BTC. In the meantime, Trump has halted aid to Ukraine. That happened yesterday. And as a result of that, the crypto market has responded. Bitcoin started to dump violently. And then fast forward to today, we have the crypto market that's basically in a worse position compared to when it was before the announcement of the strategic crypto reserve. Right now, there's a lot of talk of a classic pump and dump scheme going around. In other words, market manipulation. The tariffs are also a variable to consider here. The stock market has also been faring poorly. It lost $1.77 trillion in 24 hours. But as usual, it pays to be unemotional as much as possible to stay level-headed in this kind of situation. And in fact, we're going to secure our portfolio with those projects that we are most confident in. We're going to double down and triple down on some of those selections and consider the 5 coins out there in this space that right now are best positioned to weather this storm. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie, and this is Altcoin Buzz. I wish you all the very best of luck if you choose to invest. It's definitely been a pretty difficult stretch, and if you're hurting right now, I can sympathize because so am I. Just remember that I am not a financial or investment advisor, and this video also is not official financial or investment advice. So first of all, let's all remember that we have a pretty significant date coming up in just a few days. On the 7th of March, the White House is hosting its first ever crypto summit. We don't exactly know what to expect here, but certainly it's a big deal because the attendees include founders, CEOs, major crypto investors. The crypto czar and the head of the crypto task force, David Sachs, is going to host the summit. He's also the chair of the working group on digital assets, and the members of this working group are also going to attend. Again, we don't exactly know how to frame this right now, but it's clearly significant. And then during or after this summit, we can probably expect more news as to which direction crypto is going to go in the US. There is talk right now of tax exemption on US crypto if held for over a year. Plenty of other positive news could come out of that summit as well. And this could give the crypto market a boost that it desperately needs right now. We may also find out if a reserve is going to include altcoins or be strictly Bitcoin. And so looking at altcoins that can sustain this market, we have at number 1 on our list here, Ripple's XRP, which is a prime candidate. It's also in the driver's seat right now to be part of a strategic crypto reserve, one that is more broadly inclusive and does not just consist of exclusively Bitcoin. But whether or not we're actually going to see this strategic crypto reserve is actually still an unknown. I still think there's a chance that we're going to see a strictly strategic Bitcoin reserve, which kind of makes more sense because the exclusively Bitcoin featured reserve also seems to have a lot of support, including some big names that are backing that idea. So Brian Armstrong, Coinbase's CEO, he's in support of this. On the other hand, and it should probably come as no surprise that other big players, including here Brad Garlinghouse, they're in favor of a strategic crypto reserve, a more diversified basket. Brad Garlinghouse, of course, is Ripple's CEO. He's been lobbying heavily for a strategic crypto reserve. And of course, it goes without saying that according to him, XRP should be a big part of it. When it comes to Ripple and XRP, they also have some other things that are going for them in their favor right now, certainly including the end of that very long-lasting SEC lawsuit. Garlinghouse is also going to be one of the attendees for that 7th of March White House Crypto Summit. Don't forget that their RLUSD stablecoin is kind of slowly but steadily gaining ground in a lot of positive ways. And so it does look like, to me right now, if we take the current snapshot, despite the very troubled market, it does look like XRP is going to remain in the spotlight for the time being, certainly. The current price of XRP sits at $2.42. It's basically flat on the week. It's down 8% today, but is flat on the week. So it enjoyed that nice ride up with all the positive news. And it's kind of back to where it was hanging out a few days ago. This Altcoin Buzz Spotlight is brought to you by SUI. And if we take a look at the market, you could say that it's gone crazy really over the last 30 days. We saw 2 huge liquidations of over $1 billion and a pump and dump over the weekend, as we've been talking about in this video. But some coins like SUI, SUI, have weathered the storm and are still a great investment opportunity today. It has quickly become one of the leading altcoins in this market, and let's consider why here. First of all, SUI is killing it in terms of all the big sectors that it supports. So I'm talking about DeFi. That is where SUI crossed $1 billion in TVL and is almost at $1.5 billion in record time. SUI liquidity aggregator DeepBook also launched its DEEP token, DEEP, in October, which is holding up well despite the tough market conditions. Walrus is changing the game in decentralized data storage. Its token launch is coming very soon. And Solana builders are building on SUI now with integrations like Phantom and Backpack. SUI even has a small but growing meme coin market for the meme coin lovers out there. If you have not used SUI lately, then come give it a try. And also follows SUI's X account for all the latest updates. Check out the links that you'll find in the description of this video below. The next selection on this list of altcoins has to be Cardano and its ADA token, ADA. It actually performed best the other day during that pump that we saw. ADA went up by 60%. It went from 64 cents all the way to $1.14. Unfortunately, today, as I record, it is down over 11% back to 84.5 cents. But really, it's one of the few coins that's better off after the dump than before the pump. That's the silver lining here. That's the only one I can really provide because it's still a very, very violent fall. But the fact is that most coins lost all their gains and sometimes a little bit more. At least that's not the case when it comes to ADA. Charles Hoskinson also seems to have pretty good connections to the White House. He is, of course, Cardano's CEO. Check out our Cardano video from the other day if you haven't already. I talked about why ADA, it looks like, can go to $10 realistically this year. It's got a lot going for it. All of the coins mentioned today, may go parabolic if they end up in a strategic crypto reserve officially, but we're probably most excited about Cardano for the reasons that we run down in that video, so check it out. One of the reasons, for example, that we're especially excited about Cardano is that it recently became the most decentralized chain when it added governance. And then now it's also adding privacy with its midnight launch, which is going to go hand in hand with a massive airdrop. Again, we talked about that the other day. As a result of this, the Midnight token could actually become the biggest ecosystem coin. It's got a legitimate chance. And by the way, if you want to snatch up any of the altcoins that we're describing in this video today at a deep discount after the sell-off, then you may want to consider doing so on BYDFI, which is one of the best platforms out there to find these coins. That is where you can also trade spot markets without KYC. Check out BYDFI today. Get some bonuses for opening an account with us with this ongoing Altcoin Buzz BYDFI promotion. Links and more information can be found in the description below. Next up on our list here is the SUI Network, SUI, which is another token that really deserves to be in today's list. And check out this video as well if you haven't seen it already. This is where we run down the top SUI ecosystem protocols. Like a lot of altcoins in the space right now, the price action is not that great, but this is a case where it's through no fault of its own, right? The market is just dragging this project down despite all the great things that it as a project is doing. During the recent pump, it came back pretty strong, which is typically the trend when it comes to SUI. However, that being said, today it is actually down, unfortunately, more than it was before the pump. The current price of SUI right now is $2.41. That is down over 16% on the day. Keep in mind that this may represent a pretty good entry point, and also remember that SUI is a US-made coin. So if there is this strategic crypto reserve that manifests concretely, do not be surprised if SUI is part of it, or at least benefits from it indirectly. Walrus is also launching soon. Keep that in mind. This is SUI's storage platform. And then here's a bit of a curveball. SUI and Walrus together are about to launch a pretty game-changing video meeting app. SUI is also very much emphasizing its gaming side. This is spearheaded by the unique SUI Play 0x1. This is the world's first handheld Web3 gaming device. And then, of course, in addition to that, it's got a rapidly growing and expanding gaming ecosystem that represents a very high level of quality. There's just a lot of good stuff going on with this project. So currently it is down, but certainly not out. And finally, here on our list, we're taking a look at ONDO Finance, ticker ONDO. With this one, we're in one of the hottest crypto sectors, being RWA, real-world assets. Trump's DeFi platform, that's World Liberty Financial, or WLFI, they bought for $470,000 worth of ONDO. WLFI didn't buy that many different tokens, sure, but ONDO is one of them. This is part of the selection that they made. They were very deliberate about it. Yesterday, ONDO broke the $1 billion barrier in TVL, total value locked, and it's recently been pretty good in terms of price action. It's been on fire. Also as a project in terms of all the things that they've been announcing. Just as one example here, there's Patrick McHenry, who joined ONDO Finance as vice chairman of the advisory board. He's the former chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, which is a pretty big deal. He's also a pretty key architect of U.S. financial policy, so a major move for ONDO. And therefore, it really comes as no surprise that ONDO Finance is attracting interest from major institutional players. Big names, for example, like they take part in BlackRock's BUIDL fund. That's something that we've known for a while, BUIDL. That's about as big as you can get when it comes to institutions. They've also recently partnered with MasterCard. You can also find ONDO in the SUI ecosystem with Navi protocol. The current price of ONDO is down nearly 20% on the day. Represents another good entry point, in my opinion. It's one of these other projects that unfortunately is down now after the dump to a level that's lower than it was prior to the pump. That's unfortunate, but these are the current market circumstances. Let me know what you think about this, whether you feel this was a trap, whether you feel this was orchestrated, what you think about these selections that we've discussed in this video. I personally feel that they're very strong, that these are going to be perennial favorites moving forward for the long term. But let me know your thoughts about that. As always, comment and let us hear your feedback below. But also be sure to join the discussion both on X and our Discord channel. You can find those links also in the description below.